Hello, strong people. Week 1, day 4 of the off season. It is kind of a fun day today. So, off season programming is always a little bit different. So squat was day 1, max effort lower. Day 2, max effort upper. Day 3, what did I even do? Oh, it's kind of like in everything in between, like legs, power cleans, kind of some dynamic stuff. Today, we are doing something pretty much brand new. We are split jerking. We are doing off the box split jerks. So this is going to be my first session really training it. I've messed around with it before, tried to get a feel for it, it just doesn't work that way. It's too complicated of a movement, too precise, too technical of a movement to just get down in 1-2 sessions. So I don't want to go crazy on weight today because it's not the purpose of this right now. Strength will come, but technique comes first for this. So it's 3 sets of 8. That's definitely the most reps I've ever done in a set of a split jerk or anything. So I have no idea what I'm going to do weight-wise. I feel like 275 might be a little bit more than I could chew. I don't really know. I've never done this many reps with that movement. So it's always been for a singles pretty much. So I don't really know what to expect. I'll probably just ramp up to a top set. As long as my form technique is not compromised too much, I'll just keep ramping up to a top set of 8. I think I want to try to kind of re-rack on my back rather than put it on the box. And then get back under it and reset that way. I kind of just want to keep them kind of almost unbroken, on the descent and bring it back to my back rather than the box, just to kind of keep things rolling and kind of nail that positioning a little bit more. Because in my head, the way that the bar is going to descend is going to be a little bit more natural, I would say. So that might help me find the appropriate bar path. Something I also want to warm up correctly for this. I see Lucas Hatton, he says he's not mobile, yet he can reach pretty far behind his head when it comes to this movement. So I think that's kind of key. I'm going to have to look some stuff up just to be sure, but I know one of my problems is I feel like I can't, the bar path is a little bit funky. I feel like I'm going to hit my head when I press, and I feel like the bar, I don't know, I feel like I'm just not getting the right bar path, really. That's kind of what it boils down to. All the other issues are created by that, I think. So I'm going to get some side cam reviews, I think, and we'll play around with it, see what feels right. Try to get my my jerk right. I've seen people do they'll draw a chalk mark around their foot where it lands or something, which is a lot easier to do with a coach or someone doing it. But yeah, I won't have that or anything, so I don't know what I'll try to do. Might just try to feel it out without any weight on my back, see what feels powerful, what feels strong. I don't think it's in the program, but split jerk recoveries or jerk recoveries, that's where you kind of set the bar in the rack where you would catch it in the jerk. And then you so you split underneath it and then try to almost catch it off the rack. It's like jerk recoveries or something like that. I did look it up to know exactly what I'm talking about because I've never done any of these. So it's going to be a big learning curve today, but I'm excited to try something new. So let's get warmed up. All right, so that's already started off not good. I didn't expect 225 to feel like that. That feels, in that style, that feels heavy. Which is kind of funny because I've split jerked, I think, like 3 plates or something. I don't know. So I know I said that I was going to try to bring the bar back down to my back each time so I didn't have to, get back, reset every single rep the whole way. In warm-ups, I smoked the back of my neck with just 135. So I definitely cheese grated the back of my neck pretty hard. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Plus, I'm just not mobile enough to bring it back like safely. So I'll just reset every rep. It's a little more energy, but whatever. I don't know. So 8 reps feels like a lot. Because I started to get a little bit tired there at the end, surprisingly. I'm thinking so much about technique, I'm not putting everything into each lift. So I'm not like moving it as efficiently as I should be. I'm not really getting that pop that I know I need to be. Which is something that I think in general I struggle with on push press. Any sort of overhead movement like this where I use my legs. I feel like I get it. I don't get enough out of my legs. I really don't think I do. Because like my strict press is not, it's just as much as my regular press for the most part. Especially on a log. So I think this is a good way for me to get used to using all of my legs, pushing that bar as high up as I can with my legs. Because that's what a split jerk is. You need to catch. It's a throw and catch. And I'm not doing that. I am not dipping like at all. I need to sink deeper into my legs. I need to look for sure, but like I need to watch a real quick tutorial because I know my front knee is supposed to bend at least to some point. Because you see all these lightweight dudes, and whoever else does split jerk, anybody that's proficient at it, they dip way down. I think. I don't think big boys dip as much, but I need to watch some real quick tips, and just try to do that. And I don't know if I'm going to do 8 reps. I think that's too many for kind of learning a skill. I want to do like maybe 5 and reevaluate. Even if I'll do the same number of reps in total, but I think I want to break it down into smaller sets maybe, just because I want to make sure each one's perfect. So I don't think like a 2.5 minute set of me perfecting 8 reps in a row is going to be ideal to start this. I could be completely wrong about that. I'm going against what my coach is programming, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let's just watch something real quick to figure out some real quick tips that could help me do this. And then we'll kind of go from there. Drop underneath. grip-wise, that felt like the best one. Stability is way off on that right side. God dang it. God. So, I think I'm very analytical of my performances a lot of the time. And you kind of have to be. So whenever I'm doing something that I am not good at or learning something new for the first time, my head is a whirlwind of all the different things that I should be doing. And right now I'm just trying to focus on that lead leg. I think that's part of my issue. So if you were noticing there, I did left leg first for 3 sets or something. And then I did right leg for the last 2. I don't know which I prefer. The left one, I feel more stable, left foot forward, right foot back. But I do not feel like I want to dip as far with the left leg. The right leg feels like it wants to dip more, get lower whenever it's forward. But stability seems off. That could be because my foot's turned a little bit sideways, halfway down my leg from when I broke it and it healed funny. It could just be an experience. I've never really tested both legs same session. I wasn't even planning on doing that. Before that one set, I started feeling it out and I was like, let's just try it this way. So I had to flip my head around trying to get me to commit to right foot forward. It wasn't a big deal there, but it felt, my thing is, I think when right foot is forward, I think my left foot doesn't go back as far. I have issues committing to left leg as far forward as it should be and as far back as it should be, I think. At least that's how I'm thinking. I'm definitely not an expert in Olympic style lifts. So I don't really know. Whichever I end up deciding to go with, I want to commit to one or the other, obviously, at some point. But right now, I think it's best to feel out and see just what I prefer, what would be smart going forward. Maybe it's a good thing to do both legs. I don't know why that would be. I don't quite understand what use it would be to have two different. Maybe if one got injured, you'd be able to, do something, do it with the other leg forward. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like a circus dumbbell where, if right side gets tired, left side's still fresh, you can switch to that side. That's a big thing to help with. I am not able to do that yet. So I don't know. I think it's best to probably commit to one leg forward, stick left forward, stay that way, or right forward, stay that way. I don't really know yet. See what my coach says. And looking at there were a couple things that I noted after I watched some tutorials. So first of all, I think one thing that helped me as far as the lockout goes, as far as holding the bar in lockout position, instead of thinking of it like a press, the cue they said was like retract your upper back, retract your scapula or whatever, something like that they said. But basically it's like push it back, like you're getting ready for a bench is how I kind of reworded it in my brain for it to make sense. So, because that locks you in, that keeps the upper back stable, which is pretty important in this. So I'm not pressing the weight anymore. It feels like I'm catching it with my upper back essentially. I don't know if that's how they meant it, but it made sense to me, and I don't feel like I struggled with that part of the lift after I kind of cued that. Something else they said was try to dip approximately 10% of your total height. So I didn't really put much thought into that, I'll be honest. I was like, that sounds like something really complicated to think about while I'm lifting. So I guess a good way to measure that would be check the video to see where my front foot lands, where my back foot lands, and the distance in between compared to where my feet were placed originally would tell me how far I've dipped. I could do that. Yeah, that makes sense. I might try to do that. I don't know. I'm thinking a lot about it. So, what else was I going to say? I feel like there was another cue there that I was thinking about. Oh, upright torso. I got to keep my torso more upright. That's something else that they noted. Yeah, I just need to keep it more upright. I don't need to lean over. That's not going to help anything because then I'm going to get morning the weight up, and I don't want to do that. I want to use my legs. So I'm trying to overemphasize kind of toes out, knees out type of thing. So I'm like almost like I'm going into a quarter squat and then exploding out of there. So there's a lot of things going on at once. This is why it's important to do like skills practice or technical drills. So you can work on each individual part of a lift and then put it all together in one. I'm not doing that right now, if you can't tell. I'm just kind of doing it. So I'll mention that to my coach and just see if he thinks we should add in some more technical drills for this. Yeah. Just because just doing it like this, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to improve in general. But whenever there's so many parts to a lift that I'm thinking through all at one time, it might be best to break it down into its parts before making it whole. So, all right, that's enough of the fancy talk. Let's do some dumbbell incline. All right. Another session down. Still a good one. It's a little bit of a different one because it's... Sorry about that. Turning off all my speakers and stuff. It's a little bit of a different session because it's just... It's technical stuff and then just mostly accessory stuff. Which, now I saw... Let me hold the camera right for you guys. So... I saw something the other day online. I wish I could credit who it was because I like the way they said it. It gets the point across. And to like more experienced lifters, this makes sense. Probably more so than newer lifters. So I think newer lifters should probably take note of it. I don't remember the exact wording phrasing, but I think it was something along the lines of your top set is like the least important of your training that day, in a way. Which is true and isn't true, but I think it more so points at the fact that it's more about accessories mattering. Accessories are where you build your strength, your muscle, all that stuff. So yes, the top set and your main exercise is important, obviously. Like you need to be able to do that well. But you build all of your other, all the strength, everything else with it through all your accessories. So I think that's what they mean when they say your top set doesn't matter that much. It's not as important as you might think it is. And I think that kind of, if you put too much pressure on your top set and you fail it, you could ruin the rest of your workout. If you're experienced or better, you might already know that. But for a newer person, they might not understand that. They might think that if they failed their top set or whatever it might be, or if it didn't feel the way it should, that workout is now ruined, which isn't true. You still have all your accessories to do. So, it's only half, it's not even a half, it's like a sixth of the workout maybe. It's an oddly specific fraction, but you get the idea. Anyway, today was a good day. Split jerks, I think I learned a lot that I can use going forward. I'm anxious to see what my coach says. Because it's not, I know it's not terrible, but it's definitely not good. So, I'm excited to improve upon that. Because over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it is, I think I get to work up to triples. So, I would love to be tripling 315 at that point. I just made that up right now. So, I have no idea if that's good or not. For me. I don't know if that's underselling it, overselling it, undershooting, overshooting. I don't know. I have no idea, but we'll find out in 3 weeks. So I'm just going to take it 1 week at a time and not worry too much about the end result there. Just got to get a little bit better every week with that, and the weights will go because I know I have the strength for those. It's just more so about getting the technical aspects down because I can strict press that, I can push press, I can do whatever with that. But split jerk, I don't know if I can do that. So I'm anxious to try. But everything else, all the other accessories are good. Dumbbell incline, that was better than I thought. I have not done dumbbell incline in forever. So I was pretty happy with that. What was the weight? What did I do on that? 112 and a half plus 132 and a half-ish, 135 with clips maybe. That's usually about my peak. I never seem to, depending on what next week's rep scheme, I may try to add to that. Because I think that I could do some reps with 150-ish, 160-ish. I don't know if I could get 8. That'd be a pretty big step up, but I'd love to try to get to that 150 for reps mark. I don't know if it'll be worth it, depending on the rep scheme next week, though. And I don't know if I can kick it up into place. That's something I got to make sure I can do. Because it is so much harder with these dumbbells like this. It's just one of the... It adds to it. It's one of the things. But I'm happy with that. Back stuff, that was good. The rope holds. The rope hangs. That's tough. I was impressed that I was able to hold on for as long as I did. But it's definitely not the grip giving out thing. It's a pain thing because that rope hurts a lot more than a bar does. At least in my opinion it does, because it's like, you know, the bar has no knurling, so when you go, it doesn't really do much. The rope just kind of, you're getting like rope burn as you're kind of sliding a little bit. Not that I'm sliding a whole lot. I feel pretty steady, but it's just, you can feel it like, it just kind of burns. But that's, timed grip events like that, that's what it is. It's just pain tolerance to a degree. You still got to have good grip strength, obviously, but yeah, it's how much can you endure, and I don't think I could endure very much of that, if I'm being honest. At least not today. So we'll try better. We'll try for more next week as we usually do. I'd love to get up to a minute. I think I could if I really, really tried to push it, but I gotta train that to do that. So that's all. I got a concert here in a little bit I got to go to. I'm gonna have some fun. So until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.